Hit-and-run incidents involving animals, especially beloved pets like cats and dogs, are heartbreaking and inexcusable. It's understandable that accidents happen every day, but what seems to be disappearing is the compassion and humanity that should follow. Hitting an animal is not just a mistake, it's a moment where empathy and kindness should step in. Instead, many drivers make the tragic decision to flee, abandoning the injured animal to suffer alone. To those drivers, it may feel like running from an unseen, insignificant life, but you're running from something much bigger. You're running from responsibility, from kindness, and ultimately from God who sees it all. You can't run from that. Animals, like humans, feel pain and fear. They suffer just like we do, but they can't express their agony or ask for help in the way we can. They can't scream for someone to take them to a hospital or point to where it hurts. Every one of these incidents leaves a mark not just on the animals, but on the hearts of those who love them. We all have a choice in how we respond to these situations. They are innocent, vulnerable beings left at the mercy of humans. When we hit them and leave them to die, we commit an unspeakable act of cruelty, one that reveals how far we've fallen from compassion and decency. Are we so desensitized that we no longer care about the lives we destroy on the road? For those who hit and run, does it bother you? Do you sleep peacefully, knowing you left a living creature to die in pain? If it doesn't disturb you, then perhaps something inside you has already gone cold, turned cruel. Perhaps you've become numb to the suffering of others, whether animal or human, and that's a far greater tragedy than any accident. Many people, like myself, are left wondering what we can do when we encounter these poor animals. Often we feel powerless because the cost of helping them, whether at the vet or through other means, is high, and the world has become so focused on money that it feels like everything has a price. I don't always have the money to pay their medical bills, and sometimes all I can do is take them home, pray, and hope for a miracle. I've brought sick and injured animals into my home, bathed them in holy water, and asked God to heal them. It's all I can do because, in my heart, I can't leave them to suffer alone. A veterinarian once told me something that stays with me. After finding so many animals on my doorstep, she said, "You are blessed. They come to you because they know you will help them. Even if all you can do is offer them a peaceful place to pass away, your home is their home." That should comfort me, but it also fills me with sadness. Even if I am a blessing to these creatures, it breaks my heart to see them suffer when there's so little I can do. I wonder, is what I'm doing right? Should I bring them into my home or leave them where I find them? I don't know if there's a right answer, but I do know that leaving them to die alone on the street feels wrong in every possible way. It's a moral obligation for us as humans to show compassion to those who can't ask for it. We may not always be able to fix the situation, but at the very least we can offer them respect and dignity. The drivers who hit and run, you may escape punishment on earth, but remember that there is a higher judgment waiting for you. You may not face consequences here, but God's eyes are everywhere, and there will be a reckoning. I can't say, "May God forgive you," because the pain you've caused, the suffering of an innocent creature, is something only the Creator can truly understand. Leaving them there to die is your second mistake. May God punish you for that, and may He remind you of the value of all life, no matter how small. I never expected my day to take the turn it did when I received a call from the manager where I live. He told me a cat had been hit by a car, and one of its eyes was severely injured, almost beyond repair. Already hurting from finding another cat that morning who had been struck and later passed away, my heart sank. Still, I ran to the location, unsure of what to do, but knowing I couldn't leave the cat to suffer. When I arrived, I found the cat lying helpless, surrounded by kind people who didn't know what to do next. I didn't hesitate. I wrapped him in my towel, and despite the pain in my back and the overwhelming emotions inside me, I carried him home. On the way, I kept asking myself, what am I going to do? I only had $200 in my pocket, money that was meant to feed my rescued puppies. But in that moment, I knew I couldn't turn away. I had to try, and I trusted that God would guide me. Once home, I gently bathed him, knowing he had no reason to trust me. This poor cat, who had already faced the worst of humanity, couldn't see me. One eye was gone and his world had been reduced to pain, but despite it all, he was calm. He let me help him. I cleaned his wounds, injected him with vitamins and antibiotics, and prayed for a miracle. I reached out to an online vet, desperate for advice, but after I answered all their questions, they simply sent me a bill. $5 may seem like a small price, but in that moment, with the life of this cat hanging in the balance, it felt like a betrayal. Where was the kindness, the humanity? But I couldn't give up. I knew I had to fight for him, not just for his life, but for all the voiceless souls like him. I knew then that I had to do more. With only $200 in my hand, I took him to the vet clinic. They told me he needed surgery to save his eye, and that his back was broken and would also require surgery. The cost was far more than I could afford, but I couldn't leave him to die. I'm giving him antibiotics and pain relief, and we're waiting for the surgery. It will be a long road, but he's already started eating a little bit, and I see that as a sign of hope. I don't know where the money for his surgery will come from, but I believe that just as God has provided for my rescued puppies, He will find a way for this sweet cat too. In a world filled with so much pain, cruelty, and hardship, it's easy to lose faith in humanity. This cat's story isn't just about one life. It's about the power of compassion, about believing in miracles, and about never turning away from someone in need, no matter how small. I'm not asking for money. I'm sharing this story to touch hearts, to remind us all of the power of love and kindness, and to ask for nothing more than your prayers and support in helping this cat heal. If you're moved by his story, please follow our journey. Your support and encouragement mean the world to us. To see more of this brave cat's recovery, please follow our page. Together, we can make a difference, one small life at a time. Every day, we witness small miracles happening, the moments when hope shines through the darkest times. As this brave little cat begins to recover, we celebrate each step forward, reminding ourselves of the strength that comes from community and love. It's not just the cat's journey, it's ours together, proving that compassion can heal even the deepest wounds. Join us in this beautiful adventure of recovery and transformation.